Hello, beautiful, wonderful people, light workers. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Thank you so much for becoming members. Thank you for subscribing. All the great things that you're doing to help support this channel is very much appreciated by both myself and my friend and helper, Chuck Dransfield. We very much appreciate you coming on to this channel and the support you show us. Well, you've had a lot of questions for me, and I'm going to try and get to them as fast as possible. If you can like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. I was a little run down today. I don't know what was going on. I literally slept all of yesterday. Hopefully, I'll get some rest. I was supposed to teach a class today, but I didn't do it. I do want to do a video, though, so wanted to make sure I got that out. First thing that I wanted to record was people had asked me about Luigi Mangione, if I could remote view what it is to be Luigi Mangione. He, of course, is the young man, I believe he was 24 years old, accused of assassinating Thompson, who was the CEO of United Healthcare. I felt duped as Luigi. I felt like I had been brought into a rabbit hole of lies. This is how I felt as him. That I've been conned, that I've been lied to, that the American people are being conned. What I was shouting, they're being lied to, as if they're stupid. They're being sold expensive health care that doesn't do anything. And there are things that maybe they could have done that was less invasive than putting through 3 screws in his back. Also seeing family members suffering. So I felt as him that I had been conned into this thing, given few options, that I had spent more money than I needed to, and that I had wound up worse off. And then you go to painkillers and drugs, and then I wound up on drugs. And then the drugs had an impact on my mental capacities. And at that point, I was down the rabbit hole into delusions and justice and feeling like I'm going to get the man that creates this loop. So what is this world that I live in as Luigi Mangione? We, the American people, are lab rats. That is what I believe as Luigi Mangione. You and I are lab rats. And we are being worked to death. We are lab rats that are being worked to death. We're we're pushed to eat poisonous food. We're pushed to buy a bunch of things that we can't afford to keep us enslaved in debt. And we pay exorbitant amount of money for health insurance that does not recognize naturopathic medicine, shiatsu, hydrotherapy, things that may have helped him, an anti-inflammatory diet, rigorous shiatsu to break up, if he has any kind of buildup of collagen, right there, ultrasound, right, hydrotherapy, water therapy. Those are not things that are going to get covered by insurance. So you're going to have to pay out of pocket. So he felt that he was sucked into a machine and that the machine ate him for breakfast, and that we are lab rats and that we are kept sick and on drugs by a system to make profits. We are basically in a simulation right now as Americans, and it is a simulation that is hell. We are already in hell if we are living in the American world. We are in hell because we are the serfs that are forced to live in a simulation of chronic disease and bankruptcy due to diseases that have been sold to us and bankruptcy because we've been pushed to spend more money than we have. This is the world of Luigi Mangione. And this is why he leaves money. Isn't this really what you're looking for? The Playboy, the Monopoly money. All right, so that was the message that I got from Luigi Mangione. That is his perspective of what is happening. I, of course, understand how I can get manipulated by the media, and I am a savvy 61-year-old, right? But society will tell you that you have to have every single cable channel, every single subscription to Hulu and Netflix, etc. What a waste of time watching all this stuff, right? And I'm all about frugality. It's more important that, get off the race. I think that there's a message here because of the crack that he fell into, which is that sometimes drinking clean water. Now I'm going to give you my soapbox because I am a naturopathic doctor. Sometimes sipping clean water and meditating on the grass is all the medicine you need. Sometimes to that we might add herbs and a nutrient-dense diet and rest and chanting and meditation, something that feeds your heart and soul, but more than anything, something to live for, right? Humans need something to live for. So I would say to Luigi, you're right, those pressures are upon us, but hopefully as adults, we can recognize that we can break away from it. And yes, turn towards less invasive, natural, inexpensive ways, which are not going to make you $1 million. But hopefully they're going to keep you healthy for many years to come. All right, so that was the message from Luigi. Second message, people had asked me to look into the energy of Elon Musk. I felt like Elon Musk was going to get into conflict with the GOP because he wants to come in and he wants to remake the GOP to get rid of all these rules and regulations so that he and his buddies can go and do whatever they like. Christian evangelicals are going to fight back from that. People that have moral and ethical problems are going to fight back from that. We're going to see people standing up to Musk. And along with that, we're going to see the growth of the women's rights movement that pushes towards an amendment that I believe will ensure that women have a right to choose. So we're going to have the ERA. We're going to have an amendment that includes that going forward into the future. But regarding Musk, I think that people will simply, his own insanity will bankrupt him because he cannot maintain his mission to Mars if nobody's buying. If women are divesting of Tesla and X, if women are divesting from companies that do not believe a woman has a right to choose, that's a lot of money. So in terms of what we can look forward to, Musk is going to have problems from within his own party. And I think he's going to go bankrupted. And I think that he could actually have the government going after him if he's not careful. If Trump wants to get rid of him and then eventually hire somebody to get rid of him. And the last thing I would say is that women's rights really take off in 2025 and beyond, in the sense that more and more women are becoming lawyers, more are graduating from grad school, and more are owning companies, which means that they're worth more and more money, and they can choose who they want to invest in and divest from. So that is going to be interesting going forward. So that's going to be interesting going forward politically. Okay, so I think that's all I have. The last is if I would pull some cards on the drones. According to Grok Computer, it's either China or the United States. It's either China or the United States. It's not Joby Cars. I thought maybe it was Joby Cars, but it isn't. Okay. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together collectively we say Amen. Well, I've done a little digging and I found out that the FAA, is that what you call it? The FAA demands that you have red and green lights on your drones to be identified. So the drones that are being flown are meeting FAA requirements. Now, does that mean it's American? Not necessarily. It could be that a Chinese company is flying them that has permission, or it could be camouflage, according to what Grok has said. Let's find out what the intention is of these helicopters. What is there? Is it nefarious? What is the intention? Poverty, ruin, destruction. Well, isn't that special? It is two people who are impoverished financially. They're locked out of the church. They're trying to get back into the church. Who is the adversary? The adversary is the sun. The sun. Sun is the truth coming out. The hope and fear that there is no hope. And then the final outcome for the drones. Queen of Cups. Armistice. The Queen of Cups. She's peace. I would say that based on these cards, the drones are likely coming from China. I'll tell you why. First off, because they would definitely be doing us harm and poverty, which would be an impact on our economy. But we see our economy doing great, which is the Empress, which is abundance and wealth. And the opposition, again, here we have wealth, which would be us, the United States, and a much green economy, that our green economy is just going to explode. People are choosing to buy green. That's very good. Hopes and fears to create confusion and chaos amongst the people. That's what they want, the star. They want to spook us. They don't want to do anything other than it's a psychological thing. What is the future? The Queen of Hearts with the Two of Wands facing to the west, a global union with China. So China from a boat launched some drones, and those drones went over key areas. They don't appear to be armed with anything in order to spook people and to say we are here. The end result, though, here is a good trade relations with China. So they are basically saying that, like the Chinese spy balloon, that these are coming from China and that they don't mean us any harm other than a psychological game of scaring Americans. All right, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for listening. If you're trying to get in for a reading with me, I'll be back on Monday. And I'll be here, of course, Saturday at noon to give you all your personal readings if you are members. Be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. God bless. Peace out. We'll see you next time. Bye, everyone. Love you guys. Thank you.